Hi, everybody, and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne, and we are coming to you from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue's Station 5. This is where they hold a very moving ceremony every year, promising to never forget the terrorist attacks and those who died on September 11th. We'll have more on that in just a little bit. But first, we're all still reeling from the devastation caused from Hurricanes Irma and Harvey. We all watched moving pictures of neighbors helping neighbors and rescuing pets. Well, we know here in Las Vegas, our first responders are fully equipped to help residents, but what you might not know is they are also equipped to help our pets. Jennifer Davies has the story.
When an emergency strikes, from floods to house fires, the city of Las Vegas has taken extra steps to make sure your furry family members stay safe too. Every 86 seconds, firefighters respond to a house fire, and our firefighters at Las Vegas Fire and Rescue are trained to help save pets with special pet oxygen masks.
We put one on every engine. This is a special surgical mask used by veterinarians on animals while they're performing surgery, and it's made to get a higher concentration of oxygen to the animal.
The pet masks come in several different sizes and are specially designed to fit right over the animal's snout to help clear their lungs after smoke inhalation.
And many times they look really bad when it's first put on them, but after a while they start coming around. Usually they start licking the mask, and then that's an indication that they're coming around.
Las Vegas firefighters were busy putting out a growing house fire when two lifeless puppies were pulled from the building. And the firefighters sprung into action, performing life-saving CPR and instantly becoming my heroes. I'm honored to meet them today. Please welcome David Caraway and Greg Byrne.
Two local firefighters even appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show after saving two initially unresponsive puppies from a house fire in 2013. They made a full recovery thanks in no small part to the quick actions of our firefighters and access to pet oxygen masks.
Making sure you have an emergency preparedness kit for your pet is also crucial. Make sure you have items like food, a water bowl, their favorite toys, and a leash. And don't forget to include their shot records, and make sure you research places where you could evacuate that are pet friendly if you were forced to leave your home.
The city also has a mobile animal shelter to support pet owners in the event of an evacuation.
Well, it's tough when there's an emergency. It's tough for someone to leave without their animals. So having this set up for the residents, they know that they're going to be safe and their animals are going to be safe.
The mobile trailer has air conditioning, kennels, and even a mobile surgery center. If disaster were to strike, residents should feel secure knowing we have a plan.
We're going to mobilize in a safe area, and we're going to be there for the residents to come and pick up their animals.
For City Beat, I'm Jennifer Davies.
Thank you, Jennifer Davies, for that story. It is so reassuring to know that our first responders care about everyone in the family, including our pets. Well, as we mentioned earlier, we are at Fire Station number 5, and this is where they hold the 9/11 ceremony every year since September 11th of 2001, vowing to never forget the terrorist attacks and all the people who lost their lives. This is also a place where you can see a daily reminder of that. This is actually a twisted piece of metal from the World Trade Center. This year, like every year, we held a very moving bell tolling ceremony. We'd like to take you to that right now. Joining me right now is Tim Zemansky, a familiar face to all of us. He's a public information officer for Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, instrumental in organizing the bell tolling ceremony, as you just saw, instrumental in participating. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the significance of that ceremony.
We started doing it in 2002. All the fire departments in the United States were asked to do it, but we've been doing it ever since, and we call it the bell tolling. The bells were the way firefighters communicated back in the old days when they were still using horse-drawn engines and that. The signal of ringing the bell 5 times and a set of 3. It was a signal to all the stations that one of their firefighters had lost their life in a line of duty. So during ceremonies it is used up until this day. What was significant about our event was we transmitted it by radio to all the fire stations in southern Nevada, so all the firefighters could hear. And I just heard this past week that there's a radio app that you can put on your phone and listen to our radio traffic, and firefighters around the country were listening to it at the same time, so it went all over the country.
It's so moving. Could you tell us a little bit more about the flag that you fly on that day that was donated to the city of Las Vegas, well, the fire department, by New York, and why they donated it to us?
So this station was dedicated on September the 11th, 2004, and we got this piece of metal from the city of New York. They were cutting pieces, and if you would pay the expenses to have it shipped, they would donate it to you. So the firefighters paid for it to have it brought out. A representative from New York came down and presented us with the flag. It was flown over the World Trade Center after the collapse. We made a promise to them that it would fly over this piece of metal only on September the 11th at half-mast.
All right. Well, it's very, very moving. Thank you, Tim, for everything that you do and making sure that we don't forget, and to all of our first responders who make that day somber but very special to everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I want to introduce you right now to a couple that I met recently. They live in Henderson right now, but they actually lost a son at the World Trade Center. He was a firefighter for New York, and he was mere days away from retiring when the terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. Now, his father also retired from the very same station that his son worked at, and he said even with all of his life experience in fire service, he was not prepared for the events of that day or the days, months, and years that followed. These images of September 11th, 2001 are so horrifying even now, more than a decade later. 2 hijacked jets bring down 2 mighty buildings of concrete and steel, crumbling them to the ground. Now imagine watching this unfold, knowing it's very likely you have a loved one inside.
My 2 boys that were still on the fire department at the time. One working in, both of them working in Rescue Company 1. They were both off that day. Gary was called in for overtime. He had 4 more tours to work before he retired. Then the following day, on the 12th, I showed up at the Trade Center with my 2 boys, and my one son, Ralph, retired, and my son Michael, current firefighter. From then on, we worked for the next 8.5 months, bringing people home, but we never did find Gary. Every rescue rig from the city of New York, one in each borough, that responded, all the personnel were killed.
Paul, his son Ralph, both of whom are retired from the New York City Fire Department, and Paul's other son Michael, who is still in the fire department, were part of the dedicated team that carried out the grim process of recovery.
A lot of the firefighters I worked with were retired dads, and every one of us were looking for our sons. It was called the Band of Dads. Actually, you go on a computer, you look up the Band of Dads, you see us all on there. And, you know, we became like a family. And we were there every day, every night, looking for bringing people home.
They were captured in a couple of books from well-known photographers Joel Meyerowitz and Gary Susan.
John Vigiano, he lost both his boys, his only 2 boys. One was a cop, one a firefighter. We found the cop, not the firefighter.
Paul and his boys are seen throughout the books as well, and his sons are on the cover of one of them. But it was while Paul was going through some of the other pieces he collected in his 8.5 months at Ground Zero that you truly realize those killed on this day were simply people who showed up to do their job in the towers and then, of course, later in the rescue effort.
This is a key that I recovered from the Trade Center.
So that must have been, to somebody's desk, right? Oh.
Yeah, it says World Trade Center on it. It has dirt in the grooves.
Uh-huh.
And I never took the dirt out, figuring maybe it's my son's ashes. That's why I saved it.
A memorial for Gary was finally held on August 21st, 2002. And the couple doesn't let a September 11th go by without attending a memorial service, this one in Las Vegas. They remember a son who, after 20 years in fire service, was about to retire in a matter of days. But when the call came, he answered. And like so many others, he answered with his life.
It's something that rips your heart apart, and you never forget it. And sometimes maybe if it drifts away from your memory, there's always something that reminds you of it. And it's just a tragedy I wish on anybody. I wish it never happened to anybody.
We'd like to thank the Geidel family for sharing their story with us and certainly thank them all for their service to our country. While we're on the topic of heroes, Las Vegas City Council recently recognized Las Vegas Fire and Rescue for saving a 4-year-old girl who was trapped in a burning building. July 21st, Station 47 responded to a house fire in Ward 2 and was told there was a little girl still trapped inside the burning home. Well, they went in, and in spite of the intense heat and near zero visibility, they didn't give up. They rescued her, and she's recovering quite fine right now. Thank you very much. Jennifer Davies, who is a public information officer, put together this beautiful social media video, and we'd like to share it with you now. Once again, thank you very much, Jennifer Davies. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to show you some people who had a very unique opportunity to walk across what is now a very busy roadway. Stay with us. Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Jim Azar. Jim is one of our senior business licensing officers. There is not much about licensing in the city that Jim does not know or know how to find out. What can be a complicated process for even the most well-versed applicant or city employee is always easily explained by Jim. He listens to issues and then finds a solution. For example, when the print shop and licensing were struggling to get date-sensitive billing sent on time, Jim was quick to reach out and solve the issue that could have cost the city thousands of dollars. Jim deals with billing deadlines on licensing every week, and he must make sure those bills get to the print shop on time, or else residents could be put out and confused, and the city would not be able to collect fees that help pay for public services. Jim Azar, we thank you for your calm, quiet approach to getting the job done and for making sure deadlines are met to the benefit of our residents and our staff.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to City Beat from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue's Station 5. Well, by now we've all pretty much gotten used to all of the construction associated with Project Neon, but it's nice to know they are making progress. In fact, recently, NDOT gave residents the opportunity to walk across an area of the nearly $2 billion project that's actually completed. On this recent Saturday morning, it was foot traffic making its way across this new section of Martin Luther King Boulevard. Before it was open to traffic, Nevada Department of Transportation wanted to give residents a chance to take a look at a sizable piece of Project Neon, now completed, the MLK Bridge.
This morning, we're having a fun walk over the future Martin Luther King Boulevard. Now, this is part of Project Neon, a nearly $1 billion, 4-mile-long widening from the Spaghetti Bowl down to Sahara Avenue.
It was a rare and pleasant opportunity for residents who sometimes feel frustration over all of the construction to show a little love to the workers who are out here every day. Lynette Russell has lived in Las Vegas for 17 years, and while she admits to feeling stress and frustration over all the cranes and cones, she feels it will be worth it in the end.
Well, through that Spaghetti Bowl, traffic has just consistently gotten worse and worse. It feels like there's accidents all the time. So, not a good place to come through. I actually try to avoid it if I can. I think it'll make it much more user-friendly, indeed. Yeah, I don't think I'll try and stay away from it quite as much as I have in the past. I think it's a really great project.
This stretch of MLK Boulevard will be used by thousands of commuters every day.
Roughly 26,000 vehicles a day use Martin Luther King Boulevard on average. So this will create another major north-south connection into downtown Las Vegas. We feel it's going to significantly improve traffic efficiency and keep things moving smooth.
While it was a great chance to see progress in Project Neon, you didn't have to look too far to see we have quite a bit more to do before this job is complete. But here is some encouraging news.
We're about 42% complete after just a little over a year of construction, so we're really happy. Things are going along smoothly. The project is on time and on budget, and we're scheduled to open in the summer of 2019.
Yes, you heard that right, 2019. But when you consider the magnitude of this nearly $2 billion project, the speed and efficiency is nothing short of impressive. Well, the city of Las Vegas, along with several partners, opened a new school that is going to greatly enhance our children's education. The second Strong Start School is now open in Las Vegas. These colorful, bright classrooms will be providing a brighter future for our children in Las Vegas. Welcome to Strong Start Academy on Alta, a partnership between the City of Las Vegas and Accelero Learning Academy Head Start. The official grand opening was held on August 30th and was a true celebration of a goal the city has been dedicated to achieving for a long time, making pre-K education available for all children.
This has been a long journey, but we are so thrilled, especially as we walk around and see all the cute little children and babies in there.
Present for the ceremony were the many partners that made this possible. Accelero, who will operate the school, Clark County School District, the Children's Advocacy Alliance, the Nevada Department of Education, United Way, UNLV, and, of course, the City of Las Vegas. City Manager Scott Adams says this academy will serve those in our community who desire early childhood education, but find it out of reach financially and geographically.
Just want to continue to underscore that we're building these in the pathways of underperforming schools in the urban core of our community so that we can raise the bar on our public education in the city of Las Vegas.
Mayor Carolyn Goodman says the earlier we start to teach our children, the better their chances are for success in school and in life.
Birth to about 10. Those are the impactful years. Those are the years where children really find out their self-worth and gain those fabulous skills that give them equal opportunities for job and life.
And Mayor Pro Tem Lois Tarkanian points out that while it is what goes on inside this building that is most important, this building itself represents our community dedication to making pre-K education a priority.
I wish you could have seen this building before our staff and Lisa and all of them got together. Quite honestly, it was a mess. And inside, outside, all different ways. And it's just gorgeous. This represents the dedication, the respect, and the love of our mayor and our city council, every member of the city council, to improve education for our children. That's what this represents.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Well done.
So a ribbon is cut on a second Strong Start school, a second one to open in Las Vegas in just weeks, letting our residents know that we as a community believe early childhood education is not just for those of higher income. It's for all children. All children deserve to enter kindergarten with the same tools as every other child. The other Strong Start school is located in Lorenzi Park. Both schools are still open to enrollment. Time for another break. We've got a couple more stories for you, including an opportunity for you to walk with the zombies. Stay with us.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. This cat makes me make art. He's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Welcome back to City Beat from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue's Station 5. You know, our mayor and city council members are really well known for being accessible to their constituents. Well, we have two new city council members, and they are busy setting up their own meet and greet sessions. We're going to start with Councilwoman Michelle Fiore, who now represents Ward 6. Twice a month, she opens the door of her satellite office and invites anyone who wants to come in and chat to stop by. Ward 6 in the city of Las Vegas is one of the more diverse areas of the city, with horse properties, new residential communities, and good old Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs, home of mature trees, fishing lakes, and the famous peacocks. The new councilwoman looking out for this area is Michelle Fiore. She says she takes it very seriously, which is why she wants people who live here to know she has an open door policy. Literally, she opens up her satellite office here at Centennial Hills YMCA every second and fourth Monday afternoon. And she listens to issues and concerns, ranging from why organized cleanup groups have to pay a fee to get in Floyd Lamb Park, even if they're just here to help.
Hey, let's just go. It's a great day. Let's go clean up trash or fix a fence. So that was like the obstacle we run into lately is that they want to start charging.
That is
when
true.
Eagle Scouts are doing projects.
Yeah.
To accepting invitations to speak to various groups in the community.
I will come and have lunch with our seniors. We just have to put it on the calendar.
She sees accessibility as one of the most important parts of her job.
Well, it's so important because as their councilwoman, I represent them and what they want. So I am literally their voice.
She says she needs to hear from the residents in order to know what to do on their behalf.
There's ordinances coming out, if there's a park that's a problem, or we need parks. So depending upon what it is that affects our ward and what they tell me they need, we bring it right to City Hall, to the City Council.
She not only holds these open houses here at the YMCA where people can come to her, she also goes to them.
In my ward, we have several communities where we have community get-togethers. Last week, we got together with over 150 of our Silverstone residents. Now we're working on Providence. So there's so many communities in Ward 6, and just for my folks to know that in Ward 6 we have this office for them where they don't have to travel all the way to City Hall is quite important.
This Ward 6 resident says she is thrilled to have the opportunity to speak one-on-one with her council representative.
I think it's incredible that Councilwoman Fiore has taken time out of her schedule to make herself accessible to the community here in Centennial Hills. I think that's really important to hear the voices of the folks that live here so that she can make decisions with those voices in mind.
Councilwoman Fiore says she and her staff immediately look into solutions to problems.
Email me.
She relies heavily on the outstanding city staff to help her help residents, but she says she's not afraid to step in herself and handle an issue when it's appropriate.
We had a woman, someone dumped a bunch of dead trees in her yard. We called some of my labor local 872, and we called a dumpster to come out there, and we handled it.
Councilwoman Fiore's satellite office is in the Centennial Hills YMCA. She's there every second and fourth Monday of the month in the afternoon. Our other new council member, Steve Soroka, represents Ward 2, and he also has a satellite office. His is at Veterans Memorial Leisure Services Center. Councilman Soroka is there on Fridays and is available by appointment only. If you'd like to see your councilman without having to travel all the way to City Hall in downtown, call 702-229-2144. Of course, all of our city council members and our mayor have their own opportunities to meet them face to face. Just go to our website, lasvegasnevada.gov. Well, do you want to get in the Halloween spirit a little early? Well, you can, because there's a new permanent exhibit on Fremont Street Experience called Fear of the Walking Dead Survival. Here's how it works. You check in and you're told that the military is going to protect you as you work your way through this building filled with zombies. Now, you get inside, you're scanned and sanitized and locked in a cell away from the zombies. But then you're told the zombies have taken over and you're on your own to get to the roof. After a very harrowing elevator ride and a 3D escape, you're free to go. Or are you?
Look for any of these signs or symptoms inside. Bites or scratches, skin discoloration, fever, glazed eyes, limited motor control, skin rash.
Right. We were notified of your arrival. You've done the right thing coming here today. Inside, you will be tested for signs of the virus, which we suspect is causing all the chaos that is happening outside. Once you are inside, you will be protected. But in order to do so, we require your cooperation.
The roof of the building. There'll be a chopper there waiting to evacuate people. But you have to hurry. It won't be there for long. It's taking so long.
Make it out alive. Thanks for joining us.